I think before we start speaking about soccer, I think it is important to understand that we live in times right now that are more important and go beyond the conversation of soccer. I think it's a moment in which we must learn, understand, and support for change. I believe that this is a great opportunity for all of us to be living in a better world. It's very important for us to make sure that we have the conversation. Internally, we have a lot of communication with all of our players, and we move forward always in the same direction. And beyond that, I'm open to listen to any questions that you have.
Paul Danzer, go ahead.
Hey, Gio, thanks for doing this again. Just talk about the, I guess, the process you went through the other day and how that influences, prepping for tomorrow.
So first of all, talking about last game, I don't know exactly what happened in other teams or other situations, but what I can tell you about our team is that there was great communication internally with all of our players. There was concern in some areas, and there was an understanding that we had to support our players in their decision at the moment that they felt that it was right to move forward in the same direction. We all here are one, we're a family, and we support each other. And with the league, the decision was to make sure that we made that decision that ended up being the one that everybody saw. So internally, I'm very proud in the way everyone handled the situation. And from the league standpoint, it was important, I believe, that the decision made was the one made. My expectation is that everything is moving forward for us to play Saturday, tomorrow. And I know that between players, MLS, and organizations, the discussions is ongoing to try to make the right decision in regards to all the teams playing. But as of now, the expectation is that we will play tomorrow.
Nick Krupke?
Gio, I mean, assuming you guys were in San Jose, I don't know we know that. You guys were in San Jose, and when did you get to the stadium? Kind of walk us through kind of how the decision was made not to play.
Yeah, so internally we were having, first of all, we traveled to San Jose in the morning of the day of the game. So on Wednesday, because of the new protocols of MLS, and we were intending to leave right after the match to come back to Portland. During the day, we started to have conversations. We understand that there were things that were happening that were very important for us to focus on. And with our players, we discussed many things, and while we were trying to plan and understand how to move forward, we understood that the decision was to be able to, not move forward in regards to playing the match. A decision made between all parts after communicating. And at the end, we made it to, close to the stadium, and we learned that the game wasn't going to happen. So we went back to the hotel and started planning our return to Portland. But as I said before, the conversation with the players, the staff, it was united. There was great communication. There was a lot of understanding and listening and learning in how to move forward. And all around, I feel very proud in how the team handled the situation that all of us participated in.
Caitlin Best.
Hi, Coach. I'm just curious sort of what the mood is on the team. Obviously, back in June, you guys had a lot of discussions about Black Lives Matter and about how to treat the MLS's back tournament in terms of kind of giving a message. And then for this incident in Wisconsin to happen, I imagine that must take quite a toll, especially on the Black players on the team. And I'm just wondering sort of what the mood is, how everybody's doing.
Yes, I have to say that they're great communicators. Jabo, everyone involved. And I have to say that this is a matter that shouldn't be taken only a group. This is a matter that all of us should be a part of and support. And so the conversation is ongoing with everybody. The players, had a meeting. We had meetings with players. We spoke with everyone. And we try to understand how to support, how, the mentality is. And what I have to say is what I said before. I'm extremely proud of every player and how they're handling the situation right now, how, they're trying to each be a part of, a better world, and how everybody's, conscientious in trying to make sure that we move forward, together in the right way. So I think before we do that, always there's great conversations internally. And I think that's, one of the best things that we have in here in our team.
Any more questions for Gio? If you have a question for Gio, please raise your hand. Go back to Paul to answer.
Hey, Gio, I'm just curious, were you able to have regular training yesterday, and did everything get kind of back to quote normal in terms of schedule and planning for tomorrow, or have you had to adjust your plans for prep for this game based on what happened Wednesday?
Yes, we did train yesterday. We trained today. That doesn't mean that we didn't have conversations internally, just to make sure that everybody's okay, to see where their minds are and what we can do. So those conversations are ongoing, but we step on the field and we perform, we practice. So the expectation at the moment is that the game will, take place. But I know that there's ongoing conversations between players, MLS, clubs, to make sure that the right decision is made, and at least, there is a united decision. And our expectations is that there's going to be a game tomorrow.
Martin, go ahead.
Coach, I have a lineup question. Are Abubisa and Niezgoda competing for one spot at the moment and in the nearest future, or do you consider playing them together, starting them together at some point?
I believe that we have the capability with the players that we have to be flexible in some different ways, in be able to play also different system, or within the system to have players that can perform in different positions. So I think that's something that is in our favor, in our part, to be able to make some decisions for me to decide. But the good thing is that all the strikers that we have, that are looked as, 9 or forward, either some can play different positions, but also they can all play together because they have different strength. And so if one day we can see the 3 of them playing together, or the 2, I think that is definitely a possibility.
Go back to Paul.
Yeah, Gio, just talk about any challenges that RSL will pose and kind of how you need to prepare for what they do.
Yes, we know them very well. They know us very well. We have played many matches against each other. And I know that they're a team that it tries to keep possession. They're very mobile. They do some things very well. They try to unbalance you in different ways, but also we believe that we can find some areas in which I think we can cause some problems. So I think, credit to Freddie. I think he's done a great job, with the team. I think they're always competitive. They have some individual players that understand how to be part of a team. And, and we are prepared to be able to, play them in the best possible way to try to get the 3 points in our field, get winning that we can play, depending on the decision that will be made. So we're prepared to step on the field and perform.